Okay, what I want to do is to show you a couple of things on how to get actually 3 passports and actually how to get a UK passport too and never have to move to the UK, never have to pay taxes there. And it's kind of a loophole that you literally have to study a little bit to know how it works. But I'm going to go over a couple of things with you before I give you the details on it so you can kind of understand this a little bit clearer. If you get a passport and you go through the fast track, one of the fast track programs, it doesn't have to be St. Kitts, but it could be any of the ones in the Caribbean, the fast track options. And if you go with that, in fact, the ones that make up the fast track program countries are also all part of the Eastern Caribbean states. Now, there are a couple of them that are in the Eastern Caribbean states that don't have fast track programs. One of them used to have a fast track program, but they dropped it and when 9/11 occurred, and they never brought it back in. And that was St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, let me give you what's called the OECS. These are the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, and they are Antigua and Barbuda, Commonwealth of Dominica, Grenada, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, all of these have fast-track programs now, except for St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Montserrat. But I want you to concentrate on Montserrat for a minute, okay? Because this is what I'm going to be leading into it. Of these countries I just listed, there's only one that's a British overseas territory on this list that you can get, that you can get into quick if you have a passport and citizenship in one of the others that have the fast track. Remember, the fast track, you can get them pretty quick, okay? Montserrat, you can't get the citizenship quick now, and you can't get one in the one for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Montserrat will never have one because it's an overseas territory of the UK, and the UK would not allow it. The other ones are self-governing countries, okay? So they can come out with a fast track if they want to, but Montserrat, you'll never see it unless they become a self-governing country. Now, again, if you get a St. Kitts and Nevis passport, due to the fact that Montserrat is a Eastern Caribbean state, then you have what's called free movement. All of these countries I've just mentioned have free movement, and in that if you're a citizen of one of these countries, you can literally go in and literally just go in and start working in the other country. You don't even need a worker's permit. Okay? So you could literally go and have a St. Kitts passport and go to one of the British overseas territories, which is Montserrat, and it's because it's part of this group, okay? And you could go in there and get the citizenship pretty quick, okay? Now, when you get the citizenship pretty quick in Montserrat, guess what that does? Montserrat is a British overseas territory. That opens the door for you to get the British passport within about a year, okay? Now, there are some other options. These are not all of the Eastern Caribbean states. These are the full member Eastern Caribbean state countries, okay? There's about 11 of them total, okay? I'm not going to go through all 11 of them because some of the other ones you would not want to go in there because they got high taxes, okay? Anguilla is one of the ones that is not a full member, okay? So it doesn't have free travel, okay, like Montserrat does. But it's probably a more livable place than Montserrat. Montserrat only has about around 5,000 people or under. And, it's right next to Nevis. It's not that far from Nevis at all. But this is one way you can do a jump from one to the other and get a passport, a British passport in the UK there, and never have to move to the UK. You never have to pay taxes there, but you can't just, once you get this UK passport, this is an overseas UK passport, you can't just immigrate to the UK. You have to go in, and if you want to work there or you want to live there long term, you're going to have to fill out forms like everybody else does. What it does do is it gives you the UK passport, okay? It gives you a link because you got passport in Montserrat. Now, it will also work in Anguilla and also work in the Cayman Islands. The problem with the Cayman Islands is you're going to have to fork over $2.4 million plus a lot of other money you're going to have to give the government on top of that. And then once you get the passport in in the Cayman Islands, you can apply for the UK passport in about a year. I'm giving you options that are going to be a lot cheaper than the Cayman Islands. But now, one thing about the Cayman Islands I will have to tell you, Cayman Islands has probably the best health care of any of the islands in the Caribbean. They have top-notch heart surgeons there, something you do not see in the Caribbean. They've got a real top-notch health. I mean, it's one of the best in the world, right there in the Caribbean. They've done some original heart operations that were never done in the Caribbean until they were done in the Caymans. The Caymans was the first place some unique heart operations were done. So this is one key thing that you will get in the Caymans that you will not get in these other places, okay? So you have to decide if you want to go that, but that is another way you can go. If you want the British passport, you can get, because that is a British overseas territory, and then once you get citizenship in the Caymans, then you can get the UK passport. But again, any of these passports you get, you're going to have to basically go and do you're going to have to, if you want to immigrate to the UK, you can't do it, okay? You can do it, but you're going to have to go through all the red tape everybody else is going through. It doesn't give you any special privileges. It only gives you the passport, okay? Now, I'm going to give you, if you look at the, there are other countries that you can look at that you can skip if you want to skip and go directly. But again, it will take you years to get the passport, a lot quicker if you go in under a fast-track program and then go in under a British overseas territory that's like Montserrat or even Anguilla next, because they are part of the Eastern Caribbean states. Although again, Anguilla is not a full member, so you will have some differences. It will be easier in Montserrat, okay? But a lot of people might not want to go that option, okay? Now, let's look at the British overseas territories that if you want to skip St. Kitts and go in these countries direct, you can do that, and you're not taking advantage of the Eastern Caribbean states. You're just going directly with the British overseas territories. Let me give you the names of these, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you something. Some of these, you would not want to live there, okay? I mean, you talk about remote. Some of them are as remote as Christmas Island. I mean, they are really way out there. Falkland Islands is one of them. Cayman Islands is another one. That's a pretty good choice. British Virgin Islands will take you forever to get the citizenship, probably 20, 25 years to get the passport. Anguilla is probably my best choice along with Montserrat if you're going to go with that option. But if you're going to go with that, I would take advantage of getting the fast-track program with St. Kitts first, because both of these are Eastern Caribbean states, so it will make it easier to get that passport. Now, here's another one, British Antarctic Territory. So if you want to go to the British Antarctic Territory to try to get a British passport, I think I'd rather pay the taxes than go there. But these are your options if you're looking for overseas territories, because some of these are really, really remote places. Gibraltar is another one, Turks and Caicos, Pitcairn Islands, that's a very remote island. St. Helena, Ascension, South Georgia. These are very, very remote. Bermuda, which is another option there. It will take you forever to get the passport there, though. British Indian Ocean Territory, that's way out. Montserrat, which is the one I told you, and Akrotiri Dekaledi. I don't even know where that is. I've never even heard of it before. I know these islands and countries pretty good, but not this one. But this just gives you an idea. These territories, some of them are just way out, okay? And if the ones I would pick, again, would be Montserrat or Anguilla. Antigua is it's a self-governing country. It used to be a British overseas territory, but it's not anymore. Anguilla is, though, and Montserrat is. Those would be my two choices, or the Cayman Islands. If you want to know more on this, again, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And again, don't forget the subscribe button at the right of your screen right here. You'll get new videos automatically as they come out. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.